What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Probably Bullshit podcast. It's your host, Joel Martinez, back again for another week of bullshit. This week, I got an interesting one for sure, to say the least. With one of my boys, my new friend, Dylan Swartout. As you've probably seen already by the description in this episode, Dylan is someone who's actually been living on the streets for the past few years. I believe 5 years, he said it to be exactly, that he's been kind of homeless in and out of shelters. And just he talked to me about living through Durango, Trinidad, Denver area for the most part, Lakewood, Brighton area, kind of just all over Colorado as the time has gone on. So this was definitely a really interesting story to kind of go over with my buddy Dylan. Good conversation, very interesting, very, very interesting to say the least. This guy's got a lot of stories of everywhere he comes from and all the experiences that he's gone through that kind of make him who he is today. And he talks as well about a lot of the situations that he's gone through in his 55 years of life that brings him to where he is now. Some of the shortcomings, some of the problems, some of the just big situations that have put him where he is. This was definitely something I've always wanted to do when it comes to this type of conversation that I've had today. But for the most part, guys, I honestly, aside from like the interesting and crazy stories that you're going to hear, I still wanted to kind of shine light on just the whole situation of homelessness in general. Living now more in the Denver area, I've realized how much bigger of a situation it seems to be. Obviously, if you're listening to this, I'm assuming you've probably never experienced anything like that. And if you have, then you might understand where I'm coming from with all of this. For the most part, I never really realized how abundant it was out here in this area, in Colorado itself. Colorado turns out is number 9 in the country, number 9 out of 50 states for the most homelessness, which is a lot higher than I expected, to be honest. The number's risen over almost 200% since about 2020, since COVID area. So quite a bit. I think it was like 189 exactly is what the number was. Just to spit some facts at you guys, I know a lot of people always look at like homelessness, and maybe not everybody, maybe not even you listening to this, whoever you may be, but it's really easy to look from the outside in and almost immediately want to be really judgmental and say that these people are like just like lazy drunks, drug addicts, people who just are looking to mooch off of like society and panhandle, stuff like this. But it's really not the case. It's I believe in a previous episode we had talked about it as well, that everybody's like just a crisis, one crisis away, from being in the exact same shoes of these people that you drive by every week or every day on your way to work, living out of a tent, living out of a little shopping cart or whatever it is that they have to carry their belongings, everything that comes with it, just a little backpack, basically everything you own in a backpack, in a cart. So it's tough, it's tough to look at it this way and kind of sympathize, but at the same time, you have to when you come across stuff like this. It's again, like I was just saying, guys, we're all one crisis away. I think the statement was where majority of people in America are like 3 paychecks away from like terrible poverty, from homelessness themselves. It's tough. It's tough for sure, guys. The housing wage out here in Colorado gets really expensive, and for majority of people, it's hard to keep up with, you know. I believe the average like housing income for one person is about $35 an hour now. If you want to be able to afford like even like your own little 2 bedroom apartment across Colorado, obviously there's going to be some places that are way cheaper, some places that are way more expensive, but on average, about $35 an hour if one person wants to be able to make ends meet on their own, just like that. And that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for sure, guys. I was actually talking to someone today who's a homeless counselor, or a counselor for a lot of people who just need help. And it so happens to be homeless people a lot of the time that they're doing counseling for. And they were telling me that almost 80% of the homeless people that they work with have jobs. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show that the system is pretty shitty, I guess. Once you're down, it's like the system is trying to keep you down for the most part. And I know that sounds really like hippy dippy or whatever to say, but it's very easy to stay poor when you get to that level of poverty, you know what I mean? Some of these people are even becoming homeless because they lost their partner, one of their partners died, whether it's their wife, their husband, whatever. And that person was the main breadwinner in the family. Um, where do you go from there? It's just tough. I know a lot of people want to associate a lot of homelessness to substance abuse, substance use in general, but it's not the case. I think the common denominator for homelessness is just like systematic shortcomings, systematic oppression, whatever it is you want to call it. Once you're down, it's really hard to get up, if you know what I mean. So keep that in mind when it comes to looking around, seeing the people that you see in and out of shelters on streets, stuff like this. And another thing too is the more research that I did looking into this, it was really showing that about 40% are having any type of like alcohol or like substance problem. Well, like the other 60 are sober and just instead are just facing the cost of living and the situations that they may have, whether it be like insane, like a medical bill or something that just crushed their entire financial abilities to stay afloat. Almost all of them are dealing with some type of trauma, mental illness, or lack of healthcare. Maybe even some of them all three. So it's tough, guys. Like I said, it's it's very easy from the outside in to look at stuff like this and be judgmental of the craziness that you can see on the streets. But these are all humans at the end of the day too, and it's something that you gotta stay aware of, and I want to bring light to, really, like I said. And to be honest, I don't think this will be the last episode that I do talking to somebody that I meet on the street like this. I was able to help out Dylan a little bit, kind of just him and I shared a meal. We had lunch together, hung out and talked, just shot the shit. The guys had like he had a good smile on him, had a good sense of humor, and was able to kind of just bullshit with me. So that was good being able to have some time and just talk to the guy, pick his brain a little bit and just talk shop. We did a lot of talking even off camera prior to this and post. But I hope you guys are interested in this conversation. Know that it goes lots of different ways. I try to make sure I keep the conversation like on track as well as I could, but I also let the guy have some time to go on his rants on whatever it is that he felt he needed to get off his chest as well. So, without further ado, thank you guys again. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. I appreciate it to everybody listening in. I hope stuff like this gives you a little better insight and gives you a little entertainment as well as knowledge on the topic of the unhoused, the homelessness, whatever it is you want to call it. But again, appreciate everybody listening in. Stay tuned for the next one. Let's get it started.
That's how I live my life. Just like here on the fly and hanging on by the skin of our teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You said like when you were a kid. You mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 55.
55?
Yeah, I'll be 55 in June.
In June? When's your birthday?
June 16th. Well,
16th.
I was born June 10th. They dropped me in the hospital.
Yeah.
So they had me stay 6 days. My sister picked me up, and she decided that she didn't like my name, B.A. Abajua Muhammad. So she changed it to Dylan and used her maiden name, Swartout.
You said your sister picked you up. Where were your parents? Where was your mom?
Well, my mom, okay, so my mom had went home and
Actually,
stuff.
let me fix this real quick. I'm going to go like this.
So she would drink a lot and that kind of thing. So my sister was like, "You can't take care of him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking pick him up and look after him."
Yeah.
But so she when we were getting ready to leave from the hospital, she pitched a bitch. I need a birth certificate. I just had this baby, and I didn't, get my birth certificate. And so my birthday changed to June 16th, and she changed my name. And
So what was your legal name supposed to be?
Abajua,
Abajua?
yeah, Abajua Muhammad
And your legal name now is what?
Dylan Swartout.
Swartout?
Swartout, yeah.
Huh.
Or the Sioux, they call me Protectual Kanawana. It's Little Running Elk.
Okay. Yeah, because you mentioned earlier before we started recording
Yeah.
that you're Sioux native.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So I got Inuit and Wailaki
You're a fucking
and
you're a
Shawnee.
jack of all trades with that, huh?
Well, I mean, 76% native,
Yeah.
but so they call me Little Running Elk, but I used my stepfather's name as well. You know what I mean? As a kid, and then on into my early adulthood. Um, but when it's time to get an ID,
Good luck.
well, you go buy your birth certificate.
Yeah.
So my name changed it again, of course. But
And then you also said so your sister kind of took you in, gave you her maiden name, everything as well. So like, was your sister almost treated as like your mom in your eyes?
yeah, she.
How old was she at this point? Also.
So she's 19 years older than I am.
Okay.
She, tried to. She acted as my mother. You know what I mean? And just made my life hard as she could. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't have been that hard. And as time goes on, we learn things and it moves on. So I was kind of confused. She had put her boyfriend as my father, and so I kind of grew up at my early childhood thinking that I was fathered by this one guy, and it ended up being somebody totally different. And
How many siblings did you have?
so from my mom.
From okay, I guess.
So my father, okay, my father, he biker. You know what I mean?
Biker.
Yeah, so he started the Bandito Brotherhood. Then he was known as does not matter. To the Sons of Silence, he was a son of Silence named Silence. To the Hells Angels, Sonny Barger. You know what I mean? So he had a lot more kids than I do. You know what I mean? He'd go on the Sturgis run or whatever, and by the end of it, he made another 100 kids, and this was every year, and that was just one little part of the year. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of brothers and sisters.
More than you can count, huh?
Yeah. I mean, so and then so we think somewhere around like 14,000 natural kids from my father, and then we pioneered in vitro fertilization.
Okay.
From a Mesa Laboratories. I don't know if you.
Yeah. How do you mean you pioneered it? What do you mean by
that? Okay, so me and my father own Mesa Laboratories. And that's who developed in vitro fertilization.
IVF.
Yeah, and test tube babies and stuff like that.
Yep.
So my father's the first guy on the list. You know what I mean? And now, so he's was the most and then every um, Sioux woman, a Arapaho Sioux woman, who was of childbearing age when I was a kid, they all got in vitro fertilization from his sperm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every one of them were pregnant uh, from him, and during the same time, they were um, they had developed the fertility drugs. So my brothers, I was a twin. I got a twin. The next set, there were 3, and then there were 5 because they were
Yeah.
testing the
IVF still.
a fertility drug.
Gotcha.
And
So you had a pretty fucking like different childhood based on just that alone already.
well, I mean, so I grew up.
Yeah, let's talk your childhood.
Okay, so at 2, we came out to Colorado, and my stepdad, he's immediately within a year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Patching in with the Bandito Brotherhood. And so I would ride on his tank at 2.5. He'd put me on the tank of his motorcycle. We'd ride to the Whitefield project shop.
Yeah.
In Whitefield.
So you said your stepfather. Is this your mother's, like your actual birth mother's partner, or is this like your sister?
My sister, yeah,
okay.
my sister's husband, ex-husband. But so he was a mechanic at the Whitefield chapter shop, and they were all banditos and went on to be sons and stuff. So at 3, they made me president of Pueblo Bandito Brotherhood, a little 3-year-old, you know what I mean? And
you're a 3-year-old president of the Bandito Brotherhood.
Yeah, because my father, my true father.
Be careful with that microphone. You keep hitting it. Careful.
Oh yeah, my true father. You know, he started the Bandito Brotherhood in Fort Worth, Texas. You know what I mean? And when he came back from Vietnam, he realized he had problems within the Coliseum chapter here in Colorado. And so his idea was to build up other groups to eventually come up against the evil of the Coliseum, you know what I mean, and take away the Brotherhood patch.
Yeah.
Which happened 22 years ago.
Kind of take over that lineage that was running that way.
22 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of grew up in that whole outlaw biker life until I was 10. There was a shootout at the shop, and that was it. A year later, we were on our way to California.
Mm-hmm. And you said earlier that like you had done some like stunt work in your time, like you were even doing like stunt double shit. So how did you get into that?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So if you've seen the original Mad Max,
yeah.
My first the first time I was on film, I was a little boy in the road, the little baby in the road.
Yeah.
Almost gets ran over.
Yeah.
You never know what I'm talking about?
I think so. It's been a while. I don't know if I've seen specifically this one, but maybe.
So they're all fucking the kids in the fucking road. That was me.
Okay.
A real small piece. At 6, there's a film that's called A Diamond in the Rough. It's about my young life from when, shows how I go on.
This movie's about you.
It's about in my young life. So what it was is because on my 3rd birthday, my father had bought me a little piece of property on Wadsworth, down by Colfax. Oh no, we found diamonds. So he mined that and shit, and to show how it's not like the blood prior to the blood diamonds, during the blood diamond time, and all that savageness. Nigeria is small, you
Yeah.
know, the Congo region, and that kind of shit goes on to tell a tale about that diamond business. And so at 6, I played myself when I was 4 and then 5. So I had a small part in that movie. Um, and it just went on from there, you know what I mean? I have been to the recording business, audio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Play all kinds of instruments and stuff.
But
Ma-
like recording how? How do you mean? Like in like bands and shit?
music.
Okay.
I do a lot of the audio for. I haven't done it recently in the last 5 years since my surgery.
Yeah.
Because I haven't even been home. You know what I mean? I'm out here on the street. Um, but in Leadville, Durango, I I got a sound room. You know what I mean? Little recording studios in my house,
Uh-huh.
and but so I did. I've done a lot of audio for like all of Pixar's stuff, Sony,
Yeah.
anything that digitally mastered or whatever.
You worked on all kinds of shit like that?
I've done. Yeah, I'm the go-to guy for the audio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um,
So young adulthood, you're talking a lot of successes and stuff that you had too as well. Like all these like fucking had your hand in every pot there was. It seems like. So then,
well, I mean, I had money from the diamond.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then
from the diamonds you found on like a property that you had gotten.
yeah, and so I just kept buying property
Yeah.
and reinvesting my money. I didn't throw it away. Um, then in 1978, partnered with Martin Marietta, and we began the aggregate division.
Okay.
Started selling aggregate, and so that part was like success. Um, so at 15, I had joined the Egyptian army. Um,
How do you join the Egyptian army, being being a
okay, so
a U.S.
this
citizen?
is how. So my grandfather on my father's side, his name was William A. Cady,
Uh-huh.
and he Texas oil billionaire, and so he funded the Apollo missions.
Uh-huh.
Built the National Radar Laboratory, a bunch of stuff. Um, during the 50s,
Uh-huh.
he had funded the Pharaoh of Egypt for the for the archaeology digs. That he was hoping to find riches,
Yeah.
gold, and
So he was the one funding all this shit.
he was borrowing money from my grandfather, William A. Cady. My
Okay.
father was William F. Cady. So they go on these digs for decades, and they're just spending money. You know what I mean? They're not finding nothing. My father went to Vietnam, and when he got out, him and his buddy uh, went to Egypt on archaeological digs, and pretty soon the pharaoh, he's broke again because they're not finding nothing. They find some. They found like the Pillar of Isis, Valley of the Kings,
Yeah.
but there was there was there wasn't any of the great riches that
That they thought they were
that
gonna
that
get.
was in the pharaoh's head that he was going to get. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Um, So he had borrowed money, kept borrowing money from my grandfather. He didn't want to go to my grandfather again. So he went to my father and he said, I need fucking some more money. He said,
Can you fund me?
hey, hell yeah, I know where to fucking get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was when I was 4.
Uh-huh.
Complete failure, ran out of fucking money. So now he owed my grandfather
And your father.
and my father, and they, they were all, well, we're just gonna sell us fucking Egypt, and then we'll give you some more money and squash the debts.
Sell him Egypt?
Egypt, yeah.
Okay.
Ancient Egypt. So
Yeah.
when I was 4 years and 7 months old, it was January January 18th, I think. Um, purchased Egypt, was signed, and then they named me the Pharaoh. So, Abajua Muhammad, Pharaoh of Egypt, at 4.
So you were the Pharaoh of Egypt when you
Still
were
am.
4 years old. You still are.
Still are, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, still are.
Huh.
So that the question was how did I get involved with
Yeah.
it?
How did you get in the military then?
So because I'm the Pharaoh.
You appointed yourself into.
Well, this is my belief. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror or whatever.
Yeah.
And feeling like I had done the right thing, sending all these other guys out there to
If
fight.
you weren't also fighting on the front line.
If I wasn't the one,
Yeah.
out there.
Makes sense.
So, I'm the point of the spear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of Egypt and being involved in every conflict.
Yeah.
On the globe. Since Grenada, and
Okay. Now, without getting too deep in details on that, fast forward from the Egyptian military. How do you get back out to the Colorado area and now like to where I've met you today?
Okay,
How
so
do
I've
our
never been
paths
like
cross?
when you say military, we see this is how we see an enlisted man. He's there for 18 fucking months.
Yeah.
And that's never been a part of the action. They identify fucking targets. They'll pick us up. You know what I mean? Me and my team, and we'll fucking fly over to Lithuania, pick up a helicopter, go and fucking destroy a target.
Yeah.
And we're back. I'm back in fucking Mendel the same day, smoking pot. You know what I mean? Being a shithead stoner.
Yeah.
If it's multiple targets, I'd be gone 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
But
how do you get to where you are now? Like the person you are today, where
it just why I'm on the streets is because of my memory thing.
Now we were talking about this off camera too. You said you have a memory problem. Where did that stem from?
Just from TBIs. A lot of it had to do with stunt work. I get fucked up doing stunts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of head trauma and shit.
Yeah. Well, my father would be all like, "Get in this fucking thing. Go and barrel roll." Okay, for instance, the Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. Uh-huh.
Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
I pulled that shit off.
You were in that. You were the stuntman.
Yeah. So I pulled that fucking thing off. He told me to do shit like that. The bat bike.
Yeah.
I wrecked that fucker 3 times. Check this out. You know how when he turns the corner, it goes. Woo! Okay.
Wait, and which movie is this one?
That was Batman. Returns or Batman.
It's one of them.
Yeah, so he's on that big ass fucking
A bike.
bat bike.
Yeah.
And he turns the corner and goes whoop, 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 whoop. The wheels all whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work like that. What that is so I go to turn and what that whoop 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 is that fucking thing rolling over on me.
Yeah. The bike.
2 different times.
Oh, fuck.
And so I was fucked up from that. And then the same movie where Batman jumps the bat bike up on the car carrier up onto the on ramp that's elevated.
Yeah.
So fucking here we go, hauling ass. He's all fucking. You guys jumping up on that fucking thing. I'm all. I don't know. This fucking thing's heavy. You know what I mean? You know, you're gonna be fine. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He goes, yeah. My cousin, he passed me on. Yep. So I get on that. You can tell on the movie it's digitally altered at the end because he goes whoop like if he was bunny hopping. You know what I mean? 78 miles an hour or something straight into the road. Bam! And I fell 18 foot. I was back in a fucking coma. Just.
That's one of the main reasons you can't work is just all the trauma you've been through.
Well, I mean, I could work.
Yeah. Well, I guess, but that's like the biggest problem is like your memory and shit because of it.
Here's the thing: if I would go home, say to Durango or Leadville or Golden,
Yeah.
Or to one of my baby's mamas or whatever, get back in my fucking car and just drive around. My memory of what I have regained in my head, it wouldn't nearly be anything because I wouldn't see you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be out here see this brother, that son, my daughter over here, my baby's mama, this business partner, all that shit. You know what I mean? Because I would just be at home making music,
Yeah.
working in my shop, and I wouldn't even. For me to regain the memory that has slipped, something's got to be put in front of my face, and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You get re-brought up.
Yeah, and then it'll be familiar to me. I found out a lot. It's taken about twice as long for it to progress.
But over time, you feel like your memory's getting better. Like more shit's coming back to you.
It's starting to come back to me.
How long have you been like out here living on the streets then?
It's been about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. So I would just bounce around. You know what I mean? This baby's mama, that baby mama, and my wife over here, my two wives over there, and I kept it all. I could juggle it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody was on speed dial. They call, I see the face. So that's how I kept it all wrapped up was my
Through the
phone.
phone.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And since I've been out here on the street, people, you go to sleep, somebody's taking your wallet, taking your phone.
Lost your phone.
So I was going in every couple of weeks getting a new fucking ID, and finally I was like,
kind of throw your hands up and give it up.
I'm tired of going in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for me to have the hard copy for 3 days and somebody fucking rips my shit off.
Yeah. What
yeah.
is that day to day like? I guess with like staying out here, how often are you fucking just keeping on your toes of everybody around you? You know?
And every day.
Yeah.
It's every day.
Do you find like the majority of the other people living on the streets with you or nearby you, they're more like a fucking like an opposing threat or more of like someone you can confide in and like
you know
have a mutual relationship with?
For the most part, there's some good people out on the streets. There are a few, but I think the majority of society as a whole, they're not going to be someone that you could.
That you can like bond with,
That
trust.
well, I mean that you can maintain a complete trust with. You know what I mean? That's a rarity. Be like a true friend. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I think most people would.
Self-sacrificing.
Yeah. I think most people would agree with you for sure that like it almost seems harder these days to like find someone who is like genuinely has your best interest in mind rather than them just trying to get something fucking out of you.
Yeah. Usually it's all about a hustle or trying to fucking catch you slipping. Um, uh, so that's the harshness of a man's heart, I guess.
Where do you sleep most nights?
Um, so when I'm in Bear Valley,
Yeah.
if you go down, you know where Horn McConaughey is. Go
Uh,
down to the Bear Creek.
Yeah.
On the
Under that little
south
bridge.
on the south side.
Yeah.
Is property that I own. I had a house there,
Okay.
and it burned down like 3 years ago.
Oh, gotcha.
So, we're I gotta locate my child's mom and my cousin and shit because after it burned down, they tore it down. I seen her one time. You know what I mean? For like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Since then, and but so that I want to rebuild on the property. You know what I mean? Because it's the site of the traditional lion hunt for the Shawnee and the Pawnee. You know what I mean? Sitting bull and crazy horses.
Just based on
Two
tradition.
nations.
Yeah.
So it was part of the early hunt. They'd take the women and children down to Trinidad, set them there, and they come back up to Bear Valley for the lion hunt, get mule deer, enough for the family to survive while they went on a longer hunt for the buffalo. But so I want to put like tiny home treehouse village for like for the Sioux Rancheria, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up and through there. But that's gonna take me getting back in contact with my baby's mama because I had insurance on the place.
Yeah.
But she, you know.
So she's kind of the main, like, she holds all that shit.
It's always been in my name. They lived there. So her mom was my cousin, and her mom's mom, great aunt, was one of my aunts.
This is your baby mama you're still talking about?
One of my baby's moms, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how I got the property was they were going to lose it because my uncle, he got cancer.
Yeah.
The bills fucking went up, and then when he passed, there were a lot of bills, and you know they were going to lose it to failure to pay taxes, and so I bought it and just let them stay there. You know what I mean? They lived there for 40 years after I got the property, and so she knows more about all the insurance and all that shit, you know, because my like I said, my memory is messed up.
So she's the one that was kind of handling all that shit.
Well, I paid for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're just the fucking
that
was
was in 2010. Um, I paid 15 years of insurance or something on it. Um, at the time when I had it insured, the the foundation had failed, and so it needed a new foundation and stuff. But they didn't catch that. You know what I mean? So uh, I got my insurance, and I was all like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yeah, fucking the foundation is fucking screwed. It's got termites. Uh, it's gonna need a total fucking rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna get fucking paid." And so I went off to Afghanistan and shit like that. And then after I came back from Afghanistan, I was out, you know, trophy hunting. And
What were you doing in Afghanistan? Trophy hunting, you said?
no, okay, so I went to Afghanistan because they blew up my consulate over um, in Africa. Do you remember when that happened?
I don't. Uh-uh.
Okay, so the Mujahideen, uh, they fucking bombed the Egyptian consulate
Oh, okay.
over there,
Yeah.
and so that's why I went over there. Because they were sending, they were. I was having problems because of Kuwait. You know that started because Egypt had bought the Kuwaiti oil fields, and there's a white guy, to them running Egypt. You know, and that's an Arabic nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was having problems with them, Libya, Iran. You know what I mean? They were coming trying to fucking whack my ass, and then when they bombed the Egyptian consulate, 2009, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
I was like, fuck that. I just dealt with fucking them out here in Colorado. Fucking, I'm in my fabrication shop in Kansas City, and getting shot at by these fuckers. Long story short, they were taken out. Fucking, they're they were Pakistani or Afghani or something like that.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, they blew up my consulate. I was like, fuck that, I'm going over there and
Cause havoc yourself?
letting them have it.
Yeah.
And so
Hold on. Couple questions because I want to wrap this up a little bit too. But before I get out of here, I just want to like ask you about, like, we were talking about how it's cold out here, you know, sometimes, and over just staying on the streets. Like, what does like extreme weather look like for you day to day? How are you fucking getting by?
well, I mean, you know, the Suway, paraffin, you know, so Sue, they all little candle,
Yeah.
one blanket. That's all we need, you know.
You feel like you do pretty well in the cold?
2005, they had taken me on a one-way ride up on, and fucking I ended up. They were gonna fucking kill me and shit up there.
Who's they?
Just some fucking
Some people? Some
some
bad people?
Yeah, you know what I mean. 'Cause, so, since a young age, I was involved with, you know, Juarez and Medellin
Yeah.
and the different cartels and stuff. So I've had a lot of cartel issues, a lot of motorcycle club issues. You know what I mean?
You got fucking everybody on your ass, man.
Well, you know, but it, living life on the razor's edge. You know what I mean?
Have
But,
to.
yeah. But so I was so Egyptian Special Operations Platoon. That's the point. The point of Egypt's spear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Egyptian military. 2 5-man teams. You know what I mean?
Fuck
And
yeah.
we are inserted and annihilate targets and just
Yeah. So basically, what you're kind of saying too is like, well, I don't know if like, you tell me if I'm wrong. Like, based on all the shit you've been through, like, this is fucking nothing, you know?
oh this ain't nothing out here. You know what I mean?
Would you say you're
I've
pretty
had,
happy in your day to day?
huh?
I said, would you say you're pretty happy in your day to day?
No, not really. Not really. I've had a lot of issues. There's
What goals do you have to get yourself there?
in the metro area. There's a violent sex offender organization that's into child freaking prostitution and
Yeah.
sacrifice and all that shit. So I've had a lot of issues dealing with that group here. In my own family, you know, I've lost a lot. When I was a kid, they were killing. It's something that's gone on since the Trail of Tears. You know what I mean? Guys will go off, do their thing. When they come home, the women and children are raped and murdered and fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that lifestyle, I guess it would be, has been going on for 150 years.
Yeah.
In this area. When I was a kid, they were doing it. Killing my female cousins and shit.
But like in your current day to day, like with the things that affect you every single day, where do you feel like you are trying to improve your own life?
I just
To be at the happiest you can be, anyways.
man. So along with that organization comes gang stalkers, and as a whole, several groups of individuals they go around and keep eyes on people that they're trying to replace.
Yeah.
And if you remember 6 or 7 years ago on Dateline, they had a thing on gang stalkers, and in the Midwest, where these individuals they would go to rural areas and go inside of a family's home, kill them, and assume their identities, and that type of thing. And that still goes on. They're trying to replace people here. You know what I mean? And assume that, but they work as a pretty tight knit and organized entity. If you don't do as they do, then they're gonna make it look like you do, and they're gonna give you a lot of problems. I won't conform with their shit. They try to tell me what to do. You know what I mean? Put me on your thumb on me.
Nor should you really fucking be your own person. Nor should you have to conform.
Yeah, and so that's been a real hard time for me throughout my life in there. And the only reason I'm really here and not somewhere else on the globe is because I got a big family here,
yeah.
And they're targets. You know what I mean? So I've been here just trying to deal with that issue.
Push through for them.
Yeah, just try and freaking get these guys off of them.
For sure.
And they're like piranhas. And the smallest, the weakest, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Those are the ones that they're targeting and stuff, and try and control the little ones, and then when they grow up, they're already under their control. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And,
Yeah. Well, fuck, man. Listen, you got a crazy life story. I'm glad that I was able to kind of sit with you and shoot the shit on a lot of this. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it.
yeah, you
I'll
too,
probably
my
see
man.
you around for sure as
Yeah,
time
for
goes on.
sure. Next time you see me, be all like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
stop in.
And then your name again for anybody listening?
Okay, so the student they call me Little Running Elk, founder of AIM, Arapaho chief.
And your government name?
My Egyptian name is Abajua Muhammad. It means one. Abajua, one, singular. That's what that word Abajua is. Muhammad is leader. So that's what that name is. A lot of people know me by Dylan Wayne Kiley.
How do you spell that? Spell
Kiley?
No,
Abajua?
no, I'm Dylan. What's your last name?
Swartout.
Swartout. How do
So my birth certificate is Dylan Swartout. Swartout. Most people around here know me by Dylan Kiley, which is Keilui, or Abajua.
Gotcha. Well, heck yeah, man. You got a fucking crazy life story, and I hope more people can hear it for sure.
Oh yeah,
It's been a pleasure talking to you, brother.
You as well. I'm glad that you stopped.
Yeah, heck yeah, bro.
Pulled me aside, my man.
Yeah, sure.